men around their early 20s come to the point where they think that they want to test themselves. Similar age that I was at when I started martial arts, we want to find a way of pushing the limits, of finding out what our capabilities are. And you can do that at a certain level, and eventually that will come to the point where you put yourself against the best. First of all, you just want to train. Next you will say, I want to go against the best. And Toby's not at that stage yet, but he's marching along that path.
To this contest on our program here tonight. It is undefeated versus undefeated, and tonight somebody's has got to go.
Immediately, the segment of the night, it just keeps going. A big double leg, Sang gets him down. Wardak immediately trying to go for a figure four grip, but he doesn't have the legs beneath him. Oh, he seems to be working for him, at least to get enough leverage, Jaden.
It looks now that Sang was able to free his arm.
One of Sang's arms is like one of my legs. You're trying to figure four that thing, and it'll probably gas you out.
Yeah, it looks like Sang's not showing it too much respect. He doesn't seem
He's got to watch out, he can pull up on this one. He's got a Kimura of his own. But Wardak uses it to come out on top.
Yeah, interesting move by Sang. It looked like he was almost baiting Wardak to fully lock the Kimura so he could try and reverse him.
He ends up on the bottom for his trouble. Quite the battle for this grip.
Oh, I love that.
Find a squishy part and just knuckle it. As Wardak gets on top.
People say there's a rhythm to fighting. There's a rhythm only if it's agreed upon by both people, and that agreement takes place subliminally.
That's crazy. That's crazy because you can see the amount of pressure that he's literally putting on.
And the really good fighters are the best at making the other person agree to that rhythm and then changing the terms of the agreement on their terms.
Oh man, he used it to get on top.
He had to trade position. Now with Sang on his back.
Sang is squeezing. He's got to have something there. Oh. Still super calm is Wardak. He's got that arm stuck. If he throws it over his head, he could go into guard, but no. And that's the end of round one.
Round number one, Wardak. With some support to the ministry, confidential tax and business services, and another great sponsor supporters here. A big congratulations.
We haven't got to the corner yet. This fight, it will be Adrian and my dad. I've never heard Adrian's corner advice yet. I'm definitely prepared to be in the corner.
That's it, Johnny. Our final fight card for 2024.
Actually, keep soaking feel happy. Hang it, take it down again. Hide with your elbow.
Keep that movement going. Keep the movement going.
If I end up in the corner, if I end up on my back, I expect me to go, oh shit, I'm in this position, how do I work out? I don't expect me to go, oh shit, I'm in this position, how did this happen? I'm not meant to be here, I'm meant to finish him in the first round, I'm meant to be on top, that sort of thing. I don't expect to have those thoughts.
Round two in the middleweight division. Mustafa Wardak, Toby Sang.
I'm more refined than that.
That's it, Toby! Elbows in!
Really good position. You can just see how educated the legs of Sang are. As soon as he gets him down and it's almost even close to a half guard, he's gobbling up that leg and controlling it.
Wardak's now got his arm caught by Sang as he was trying to get up.
Man, you can just hear the thump in that. Oh, Sang gets at least the hook in, goes to that side right position. And man, Wardak is just finding himself in a horrible spot. Tower, half. Oh, under the neck. Wardak having to spin. He's still not out of the woods. He had the support arm for a second. This is a deep squeeze. That's going to be a tap, and it is. Sang just proving way too much. And Mustafa Wardak just facing defeat for the very first time. And Toby Sang gets the job done. Cool as a cucumber. Enforced his will in the grappling department.
I think Toby has got some really unique characteristics. One of them is his real ability to bring it on the night. He's able to capitalize on all of his training and all of the good work he's done. He's able to bring that on the night. You never know how a fighter's going to go until they get there. You know, the old classic trope that you don't know how a fighter's going to react until they get punched in the face. And you always think, oh, look, Toby's my son. I've got excellent amount of confidence in him. But in the beginning, you never know. You just never know. But as the fights have gone on, there's more and more that comes out of Toby that I see that's very special.
We did it, boy. When I took him down, there were still moments where I didn't do the right thing, where I needed to improve.
Slightly give him a Americana from that forward defense. You don't want to overcommit to some shit and then get like your arm taken.
Absolutely, yeah, almost did. It's always the case that your opponent has a chance, and it's always the case that you're still on a razor's edge with the small gloves, with the intensity and the craziness of fighting.
I'm happy. Thanks, boys.
Yeah, where is it? Good stuff.
Thanks, Sean.
This is a topic of conversation I've had with a few of the boys, the impact of the first fight. Because if you look at the people that stick with fighting, the first fight is a big indicator of whether they stick with it. If I look at the guys at Integrated that have lost their first fight and won their first fight, it's a night and day difference.
His opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. From right here in Brisbane, trained out of the Integrated MMA gym tonight, Quinlan Kelly!
Unpacking such a monumental event as winning or losing a fist fight in front of your family and friends with pretty dire consequences must have some sort of ramifications for the way you think about yourself.
Hey, Fordham in the blue, Quinlan Kelly in the red. Fordham really just trying to get deep on the hips, at least pull Quinlan Kelly back against the cage, which he does with an underhook.
Sometimes it'd be a little bit annoying when you're with someone who's a lot taller and longer than you, because they can just lock their hands when you can't. There and start taking his knee out of position.
Oh man, puts Fordham down. Fordham doesn't look like he has all his faculties. Oh, cracks him again. And Fordham at least has enough to be able to grab on there. There's the hammer fist Adrian Pang's calling for. And there's shots underneath as well. Fordham just in desperation mode. Tries to drag Kelly down, gets back up again. Takes him the other way. Puts those reverse hooks in. and upgrades it. He's got the back in earnest now. Turns him over. This is the worst position you could find yourself in.
The fatigue accumulates so quickly when you're carrying a weight that high up on your body.
What a fight. Both guys having moments. Quinlan Kelly just feeding him hands. Fordham now just in such a dominant position. Oh, he's got that body triangle. And Kelly's on the ill-preferred side. Fordham is just all over him.
But not enough time left in the round.
Man, and he's making the most of it. Hey, look, that round just died. Looks like he's getting an earful from Adrian Tang about what to do.
There are definitely guys in this sport that decide to feel no fear. They decide to tell themselves that nothing can go wrong, that they're invincible, that they're the best. It does work to a certain extent. It does, because that confidence gives you the impulse to act at a moment's notice. But a person is much more than one thing, and I believe that everyone has that animal and aggression, willingness to kill. I like a little bit of the Dark Knight in there, where they say, how can you fight longer than possible, run faster than possible, without the strongest impulse of the human spirit, which is the fear of death. So
Quinlan Kelly at least managing to get him up. Fordham driving him back to the mat. Possibly using a little bit of the cardio in doing so, but with 1 minute left in a fight that you're dominating, he probably hasn't burned all that much. Drops down for a leg lock. I don't like his chances. The knee line sort of not there. You can see Quinlan Kelly spat the knee out. Opting to strike, but it looks like that this one is going to close. With, for all intents and purposes, an absolutely dominant performance by Matt Fordham.
Unanimous decision, and it goes to the blue corner, Matt Fordham.
Martial arts training is much more than just performing in the cage. Fighting in the cage is an opportunity there for the martial arts practitioner who wants to pursue that path.
no one does this sport because they're content. They do it from some kind of desperate dissatisfaction, whether it be with life, people, themselves, loved ones, whatever. It's more of a desperation to push yourself into this cage and do this extreme sport. So that's the color of the feeling, and I just am not willing to give up the root of it. If you don't have that real desire to do it, if you're doing this just because it's going to get you something material that you want, or it's going to make you feel some kind of way, then I don't believe you have the drive to really push through, the drive to fight off a deep choke where you're suffocating, or I don't believe you'll have the drive to get up when you're having fists thrown at your head and being held down.
I've mentioned that one of the great attributes Toby's got, and probably his strongest, is that he's able to use his mind to bring everything he's got on the night. All the skills that he's got, all of his fight spirit that he's got, he's able to bring that. And I think if he can maintain that, he will never be dissatisfied with his performance in the cage. If he's pushed his limit up to the point where it's just a bit beyond where he's at, and he goes through a loss, I was going to say suffer, but it's not really suffer a loss, but goes through a loss, then that's okay. I think he's well capable to accept that, because with his attributes, he's able to come out of that situation thinking, well, I brought my best. I don't think he'll ever come out of that thinking, oh, I just haven't got what it takes. I'm certain he'll be able to look at that and say, well, I haven't got it now. I'm going to go away and come back and bring it some more. If he wants to use this experience in cage fighting, in mixed martial arts, as a test of his physical, emotional, spiritual limits, then I think he'll go down that path. But if he wants to use it just as a test of his ability to keep training, to focus on something, to engage with the community, like so many people do, and completely valid and legitimate, then that's all right. He's already met that challenge. You know, he can walk away feeling satisfied with himself.
If I quit now, if I got a horrible injury in the next one, I'd look back on my fights as if they were UFC championships. I've invested that much of my personal emotion and devotion towards that it feels that way, and I'd be proud to have that memory.